G'day! Today we're going to revisit the level of Salaam and just see if, from what I've learnt, getting through the game, if we can improve on that 2,500 score. So when I first played this one, I didn't find it too hard. It seemed like a nice sort of structured one. So we'll see how if that is the case, or if it's trickier than I remember. Certainly a few of the levels that come after it in Zurich and Munich, I do recall having a bit more trouble with. And Tokyo before it, I had to skip and move forward to this one because I was having so much trouble with it. So definitely I have fond memories of this one compared to the ones around it. Okay. We will try and keep these guys separated, so we'll see. We should get a fourth red house. We usually do. Usually get 2 houses per warehouse in this really early section. But might not be the case this time. Hopefully this one guy can take care of him, and then these guys can stay over there for now. See how long it takes before they need a little bit more assistance. Take the roundabout. I don't think these guys need a roundabout. I think they're so close that they'll be extremely efficient. It will just be probably this guy. And I mean, if these guys increase in size, if he becomes a skyscraper, or he becomes a skyscraper, we'll have to obviously bring in some houses from some elsewhere if we don't get this suburb any larger built. It will definitely increase the distance that they have to travel. Get here. One thing I do like about this level, which I think came in handy last time for me, was the how close the water is. So you can see that we've already got the beach coming up here, Cocoa Beach, and that means that there's already a hard wall on this side, so I don't have to stress about the playing area going too much further to the right. The roundabout again. Okay. So I feel that I should start bringing these roundabouts into play because I've got 3 of them. So I'm going to put one here. It seems really clunky for that guy because of how directly onto this these guys are. But it's just sort of late game planning that we're going to have that already in place. We'll give these 2 guys one as well. We'll just get them to connect 2 different ways into it. And we will then have them connected. And for these guys, I'm not sure if there's anywhere that we can actually fit in a roundabout for their journey. Now, one reason that I am already giving, say, these 2 houses down here a roundabout is because I already had 3 roundabouts, and one of the biggest problems that you can actually have with the roundabouts is placement and having the available space to fit it down. The pure logic here is that if this roundabout is already in place, then it means that this suburb continues to grow. They've all got that roundabout ready and available to use. If I actually do find out there's somewhere else I need a roundabout, no harm. I can pull that out and I can just get those 2 guys to rejoin over the space that that's taking up. And basically similar to what's going on with these guys here too. That's basically the logic of it, that if you can fit it, then use it. Because if you need it later somewhere else, then take it. Just the opposite is nowhere near as easy. That if you need to add it somewhere late in the game, you might not be able to. Now I don't like my my dark blue setup here. I'm pretty confident that this ends up being a dark blue suburb up the top, so that that could be coming soon. I also, yeah, I was gonna say, I'm also getting close to having this area open here, so I do need to get that bridge. So luckily a bridge came in there to make that a little bit easier. Cool. Now we'll just pause for a second. If you do get a good placement like that, where you've got a dream run from one house to a new warehouse, I generally recommend pausing, because the one thing that can happen is you can have a house suddenly spawn in the way and suddenly halt your plans. So if you can, get to that pause button before anything else drops. It's definitely worthwhile. I have mentioned this in the more recent videos I've done, but one thing that was recommended and definitely is right is try and avoid having intersections of 4 roads, which is sort of why I've got this layout here for these guys. If you've got 4 roads intersecting, cars will automatically slow down for it regardless of whether any traffic's coming. They just sort of essentially cautionarily slow down. So we certainly don't want that. Just give a quick demo with that as well, so you can see if I put this like that, as these guys come through they slow down, whereas if I get rid of even one of them, you can see that they fly through it. So if you can avoid it, it is certainly worthwhile. And if you have to have it, that is probably where you want to start to look at traffic lights, because if they're going to be slowing down, I'm pretty certain if you've got a green traffic light sitting there, they will just burn straight through it. So there is the explanation of where a traffic light might be handy in this game. There definitely others that have tried to convince me that there are other places that it is, but still not convinced. Still, at least, definitely, it's my last choice. Someone did point out in one of my games that I was still taking roundabouts at a point where there was no room for roundabouts, and I could otherwise be taking traffic lights. But nah, still not convinced. Well, yellow is coming thick and fast at this stage. The good news is that this guy means that that whole long road is now not needed. He should be able to hold on to that on his own for a while. And what we can now do as well is split this neighborhood. So we'll send the yellow guys in the south down this way. Send him along as much as we can. Let him join. So we've now got 3 in the top, so we'll give him to this one as well. And we actually will give him as well. So that guy's got 5 because it's a little bit of a further journey. And we'll let... Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the south. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the north. And then this guy up here has 2. Still got a motorway to use. I would say that that motorway... That's handy that now... Just got rid of that road. These guys are deciding to extend out that way. So what we currently need to address, red housing, we don't have enough. We've only got 5 red houses for 3 buildings, destinations we'll call them, and we've got 3 dark blue houses for 2 destinations. So I'm going to take the motorways still, because they're definitely going to be our late game currency. And yeah, we've just got to keep an eye on those reds and those blues in the middle that are still having to share. Now this guy getting that red house on the right hand side is definitely having something come from over here to over here. We probably want to build a little bit of a road for this at this stage, because we don't want them to sort of block out all the available options. We don't want, say, 2 more red houses to show up on this side. Just like that. We want them to... might make that the end of the road that way, and we'll send these guys down. Okay, so we'll give him his own entrance as well. And we'll disconnect these guys. Send him that way. And then we'll have motorway 1 over here. We've got another dark blue house in the mix up here. And what we can do, we can split this, because we now don't have that red road in the way. We can make these guys connect straight through. Now, currently not great, because we need more dark blue houses. If either of these become a skyscraper, just like that, someone else is going to need to help. So luckily we've got that guy to lend a hand, and this guy. We'll leave him to 4 houses at the moment. No, we might leave him to 4, and we'll give this guy the 3rd. And we'll take the bridge. So what I might do now is one of my videos that is most burnt into my brain is I did a Rio de Janeiro level, I think it was, and I didn't use a bridge at a point where I could have replaced a motorway with a bridge. And I got a lot of comments that said, why didn't you use the bridge? So today, I'm going to use the bridge. I'm going to put these 3 guys that are actually closer to him than this community is. And I will give him a motorway that runs from this point on the other side of that roundabout to there, which is a shorter trip for them too. So hopefully this makes not only this skyscraper and this building happier, but also the people watching this video happier. Now I'm just going to leave both of those running at the moment. Cool. So what we'll do is, now that we've got Highway 2 in operating order, we'll give that to those guys. Again, these are some very short motorways that I'm using, but it's in the name of keeping sets of cars apart. Okay. Now what I might do is just get this guy to help out. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a dark blue community up here. I was going to say, as long as these two are square as well, it's not going to be too much of a problem. But now that he's become a skyscraper, we have to rethink this. Now, potentially, all we've got to do is just wait till the end of today, and we might get another motorway, and if we do, then this guy's going to inherit that. Beautiful. So we'll just pause for a second, get rid of that, we'll get rid of all of this. We'll give these guys a little bit of a lead of where they are, because I expect a few more houses to show up around them. I'm going to put this road there too, because I don't want... I've had houses show up at this point up here, and they've just been blocked off by a house showing up there, so we'll leave that open at this stage already, and I'll send this guy through, him connect. Okay, so we've got 4 houses connected to him, 4 houses connected to him, 2 on this guy. Okay, we'll pause again because this is another scenario where you could have a quick, sudden house spring up that's going to make that connection a lot trickier. And we'll have him come in and connect over here. What we'll do is we'll send him a bit more that way. And I'm not really happy about what's about to happen here. An actual roundabout would be really good for these guys. So I'm going to take Red's roundabout, because I think that these guys are so close to this factory, and that they probably won't ever need more than 3 houses. What we'll do is we'll move this a bit further, or we'll move it diagonally down this way, and we'll wait for that roundabout to appear. Cool, there it is. Put that roundabout there, give that the connection, that one. Oh, I was going to say we connect through there, but if we can discourage... if we can discourage everyone passing through the roundabout, it's definitely ideal. So we'll currently split this into 2 sets of 2. Because I imagine, yeah, this will continue to grow a little bit. And so we can just sort of shift houses to the 2 different directions as more come. Now I do have a bridge still. I can have this guy join down here, which I will. And we'll just have to keep an eye on his suburb, because if he ends up with a couple more houses, we can get rid of that highway. Some of these are a fair bit of road that I'm paying just for the privilege of not having a 4-way intersection. But for now, I've got excess, so I may as well use it. Now the big question is going to be, what do we get here? Hopefully red. That would be very handy at this particular moment. Three for this guy, 3 for this guy. Just do a check to make sure that all houses are connected as well. Got another house up here. He does make that a 4-car intersection, so we'll just shift this guy around the top. Got this red house back here that's not connected. Get him on the line. He's actually doing a great job on his own. Perfect. Perfect. So we can get that house there. We can get rid of that motorway. We can just ask these guys to just go straight into addressing that warehouse. Okay. Take that. Now, certainly one won't be able to operate that forever. Now, I wonder if I'm better off not having him connected. I have so many houses connected into this block that by connecting him, I'm creating a 4 setup there, which will actually slow down the other cars going by him. So am I better off just leaving him disconnected and letting those guys move quicker? That's the theory I'm going to roll with for now. Okay, so we'll have to extend off this guy. Go that way because of where I've put that. We could move it. So let's move it. Let's shift that. I've got 21 spare spots at the moment, so we'll shift that over that way, make that a little bit longer. Get rid of that little outcrop, and we'll go up. Let these guys actually be separated. So it's at the roundabout at this point. They divide. Now the other thing that I could do is actually just divide this neighborhood. I could get rid of the. Yeah, that's annoying. This guy here, actually will get him to flick down. Okay, so let's pause for a second here. Let's divide these neighborhoods. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, 7. Sorry, where did I get 8 from? We'll disconnect that. We'll go that way. So he's further away, but this guy is a skyscraper. So we'll give the skyscraper 4, and we'll give the other one 3 for now. Now we do have 3 motorways at the moment. I'll give this red house down here to this guy as well. 3 motorways. So, perfect. This guy's just gotten a house too, which will make his life easier. I don't think that we currently need these guys, so we'll just leave them off at the moment. Getting another yellow community up here too. So I do want to try and make sure that these guys can all get to the same point, so I will give them a combined road. Do the same for those 2 guys. Not much I can do with him, so I'll just let him block out the other square next to him that is also unusable. Okay, that guy's unusable. Unless I use one of my motorways. Okay, let's. Oh, decided in the name of that one guy. Okay, he's not needed. This red guy will say is not needed. So what we will do is we will get rid of all of this. And we will get these 4 houses to connect to different squares so they don't slow down. We'll join them there. And then we'll let them leapfrog to this side for now. That then means that this guy, move him across that way. Get him to connect in there. That means that this guy's got 4 and he's got 2, so we'll shift that guy that way, so that he's got 3 and he's got 3. Take the bridge, just because I don't have any at the moment. There's not much water in this level to cross, but it's a definitely better safe than sorry sort of option. And now, beautiful. In terms of those guys, we will pause momentarily as well. We'll let them have that roundabout, because there's a lot of them. Now sort of a weird little suburb, so we'll get him in there. Those guys connecting. We'll move him that way since... Is there another option to connect that way? Cool. We'll let that guy have his own entrance as well. Probably these guys here could have equally used a roundabout. Again, that means that these guys are going to slow into this point here because there's 5 connections into it, but I don't think I've got much else choice. I think that I do want to have 4 houses connected, so I'll just have to play that. Okay. Now what we can do here is just a nice easy divide of 2 separate neighborhoods. We will just send the southern 4 houses south. And we'll let these northern 4 houses go for that guy. The one thing that I have sort of found a few times is that if I'm not paying attention and one of these warehouses, a second warehouse in a set, shows up, I sometimes miss it. So I am keeping an extra eye up here to make sure that that guy is addressed. I do still have 2 motorways as well, so I've got to keep that in mind when I start to see who becomes busy. We'll take the roundabout and we'll have a look to see who could use it. Now, 100% this guy could use it. I don't hate this setup. I'm not a fan of that at all. To the extent that I don't know, I could give them a motorway or give half of them a motorway to sort of clean it up. I don't know. I'll leave it as is for now because this guy isn't in disaster by any means. But what we'll do is we'll give a roundabout to these guys heading south. We'll let him go in there. And that sort of just cleans them up a bit. We'll let him connect in that one as well. We're definitely looking good for 1600 at the moment. Okay. Now, let's talk motorway. This guy here has 4 houses. This guy has 4 houses. He has 3. He has 4. And that leaves me 2 spare houses. 1 there, 1 there. Now, I hope that this guy up here actually gets some extra help. Because I can't see anywhere else to sort of make a join here. As it stands, that one guy can look after this. And in one of the weirdest luxuries I've ever had, potentially what I could do is actually just give this guy his own motorway too. And just let those 2 houses take care of both with 2 separate motorways. Which we definitely don't want to do at this stage. But it just means we're on the lookout for even just a set of 2 dark blue houses that might make our life easier. Now, I'm going to move that guy too. There's no point in making him go up when I can actually just swing him down closer. I'm now getting a fair few tiles, so yeah, longer driveways that get guys just in the action a lot quicker. It's definitely going to be worthwhile. Cool. So this guy up here got a second house, but then also this guy here has popped up. So let's get rid of that. I'll build a weird little hook around it at the moment because it won't let me build over that point until that highway is gone. 4 houses for him, 3, no, 4 for him, 4 for him. I'm going to take 2 of this guy's houses. I would take him as well. Actually, I can. I was going to say I can't because of this guy. But what I could do is send these 3 guys north. Have him turn around. And we can give them the motorway because we don't really need that. That yellow house, because you can see that both of his cars are currently sitting at home, so he isn't doing anything at this point, so hopefully they can live without him. Now this has definitely escalated the amount of dark blue we need, and we are getting some dark blues in some really weird spots now. Alright, we'll take the roundabout. Pause for a second. Is there any way that could benefit from having a roundabout at this stage? Maybe, I mean, maybe this suburb up here I could fit it in at least. We can put that there, knock these guys out, we'll send him up, we'll send this guy down, we'll let him join that one. He can go in there. Okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 houses here. 1, 2. Where's he connecting? He's connecting south, so I'm going to swap him and I'm going to send this guy north. Because he's looking in a little bit more trouble. crazy scattering of red houses now too that are no benefit. What am I doing with motorways? I do still have one more, so these two guys could end up getting joined. Now, what I'm going to do is, just because this guy did pop emergency, some of these are just going to be spot fires that we have to put out. So what we'll do is we will just put out that spot fire by suddenly just surging a suburb that's not being used to go and address it. Now, it will definitely make it a little bit worse before it makes it better. You can see how much congestion that's just created. But there are so many houses that are just lined up, ready to go take some of those tickets. And the second that it's fine, it's pretty much done. We can take them off again. Just move that there for a second. I want to adjust this purple road a bit more directly that way. That means that those guys are all now going to hit the same marker. Does mean that I can have those 3 red houses attached. Just want to make sure that I do have that purple road connected. Good. You can see that we've cleaned that guy up quite nicely. Okay, we'll grab another roundabout. Just pause for a second and consider, is there anywhere that could benefit from a roundabout? Say this sort of yellow guys here. Not much. I mean, they'll only benefit in the fact that this one guy will be separate from them, but I mean, they can at least fit it in there. Probably these yellow guys up here, actually. Let's put it there. Let's knock that out. Move that out of the way for a second. Send that straight in, and then we'll go come around that edge. Down, we'll let this guy come across the top. We've got 3 coming in on that side. Okay, so possibly our next shift is going to be that we extend this out a little bit here, and then we move this motorway, and we put it there. Now, even though this guy still needs a little bit more addressing, you can see he's getting worse, and one thing that we do need to do in this game is you need to address a problem sooner than it is a problem, because you don't have much time to address it once it goes critical. Okay, so getting this extra guy here makes his life a little bit easier, which is good. We are eagerly waiting for these guys to all come home. Cool, there we go. So now we can have this surge of red cars from these 3 houses come out and try and take care of him. Lovely work, fellas. Now, I'm not quite sure what's causing these guys to hit congestion. It would be nice to get another house on this guy's road, because you can see that he's already starting to spiral out of control again. Let's turn this guy around. He doesn't need to go the long way to those dark blue houses. He can definitely help with this guy. I would like to get this guy attached here too, because obviously the 4 houses isn't enough for him. I was hoping we'd get a motorway, but no such luck. Okay. So, is there any motorways that we can reclaim, or anything that we can do to try and ease this guy's problems? Okay. So, purple's blocked in by red. So, we'll go the highways by number. So, number 1 is a necessity. Number 2... I mean, number 2, we could send these guys north. You could go be covered by this set of houses as well. And then these guys could come down. And in fact, they could also go around to the outside. Alright, I think that's probably a bit more manageable. So, what we'll do is we'll get rid of Highway 2. Get rid of this connection here. Connect him that way. Red pointing that way, and we'll get this connection coming down here as well. Just cut that corner. Now the problem would be that that's going to mean that there's a lot more traffic cutting through here, and that's one setup that I don't have a roundabout already in the mix ready to go, unfortunately. But connect him there. We'll hope that these guys do help that load. What we can do too is to sort of ease the amount of guys coming that way, is we can actually send them up. And I mean, potentially what we could do is send these guys down and help cover here, and then cut that off completely. Let's think about that. Let's just play it like this, see how it goes. Oh, I've got my motorway back too. Let's get this motorway going again. And I should definitely have this guy helping out as well. There's two guys just down here as well that probably would be good to get involved. They would cut across yellow. But yellow's only dealing with a Yellow's only dealing with a square. That's not a major warehouse here, so we can cut across him. And whether we want to cut across him to go to down here or just up here, might just go up for now. This one shouldn't be as big a problem as it clearly is. That's certainly something that we want to address. And I think that we've done an alright job of it there. Get this guy connected here, and that guy. Hopefully that addresses this dude's problems. He's looking alright, so I could bring one of these guys back as well. Okay, where else have we got problems? This sort of around the 3,500 mark. If the answer isn't everywhere, then we're doing things very right. Okay, you can see the congestion that's causing here. Unhappy about not getting another roundabout there, another motorway. You can see why I take them so early, if they're going to be so stingy with them later on. Yellow is certainly the problem. I'd say that yellow is going to be where I sink at this stage. Let's get this yellow guy connected. Let's get this guy connected in here. Now, if I could disconnect, he's a pain too, because he's actually slowing down this intersection. I've just been there, so I'll swap him to the other side. That red house is definitely going to help. Yeah, definitely you just reach a point where it all just starts to go on you. Everyone's been doing okay. I mean, I won't use any stronger word than okay. But certainly I've seen worse. Now he is struggling. I might give that house back, because good, I've got another house here that he can inherit. This guy here is going to be the one. Yeah, so sending these guys back around the other way. Definitely sunk dark blue. And a good lesson in, oh, so close to 4,000. A good lesson in why you definitely want to try and use those roundabouts early to break up those suburbs, because that was the second set of warehouses in and they did not have one. And you can see the problem that ended up causing me. Anyway, any questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. Till next time, catch you later. See ya.